Welcome to So Many Receipts. I'm Fleur Michelle.
And I'm Shelley Seddon.
And we are two entertainment journos based in Sydney, Australia, who love to analyse and talk about all things reality TV and pop culture.
Each week, we'll be bringing you our take on what's trending. This week on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Mo's papped kissing shots, Jamie's I Love You fail on MAFS, Denise Richards' new show, Shep's fake butt on Southern Charm, and more. So let's get started.
So, kicking off this week with our Real Housewives segment, we finally see the return of Terry Biviano to Real Housewives of Sydney. Not sure why she wasn't featured in the first eps. I think it was to build the drama, but her return was actually a little meh.
Yes.
However, last week we talked about the trashy nude dress craze, and what does Terry show up wearing to her first dinner? A nude dress.
I know.
Complete with black high-waisted panties and bra on the show. I personally really don't like this fashion trend, and neither did the other ladies. We had Victoria saying, so awkward at almost 50 years of age, and Krissy saying, oh my goodness, did you forget the slip underneath? Agree, I can't unsee this.
I know. Yeah, Terry's appearance was awkward, but Victoria needs to shut up about people who are almost 50 and what they wear. She's age shaming and body shaming people. And I thought Terry looked amazing. If you have the body for it, it doesn't matter what age you are. Look at J-Lo. Look at Demi Moore at 62. It's like, shut up, Victoria. Like, Victoria's like almost 50 as well. Is she going to stop wearing short dresses when she turns 50? And then Krissy shading Terry by saying, did you forget the slip? Krissy essentially wore the same outfit in Noosa.
So are you saying you like the dress, or you just like the way Terry looked in the dress?
Terry can pull it off. Terry can wear whatever
Would you
she
wear one?
wants. I have in the past.
Oh.
That dress trend was 3 years ago. I got that.
Why is it back then?
No, it's just now coming around.
Oh, it's coming around.
I saw Chriselle on Selling Sunset wearing this like 3 years ago on a boat. That's when I wore it. So just saying.
Interesting goss as well, with the Daily Mail revealing this week that production apparently doesn't have the money to pay any extras for this show. So for the recent girls' trip to Noosa at Krissy's house, she actually paid for all of the women's airfares.
Wow.
Like, what? And then in this week, just this week gone, Krissy, Nicole, Caroline and Victoria were at a meet and greet with fans in the heart of industrial Liverpool.
Glamorous.
In Sydney to meet them, at the Fashion Spree Factory Outlet Centre, which doesn't exactly sound very classy to me.
High-end.
And that was actually organised by Nicole, as her family owns it. And then they had a viewing party in Sydney at a bar called Universal, but that was also organised by Krissy, and the ladies all had to pay for their own drinks.
Yeah, I think this show is really struggling to find its way. Some housewives have been trashing other housewives while doing publicity, and one production source said if there is a show next year that many cast members won't be part of it. I think they've really shot themselves in the foot with their personal fighting.
Yeah, so I was wondering how hard up is this show, and so I did some digging. Apparently, the women are only paid $10,000 a season, which compared to the US, like Kyle Richards on Beverly Hills gets between $250K to $500,000.
Sure.
So that's the comparison of this type of show.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Bravo actually has nothing to do with the international editions like Real Housewives of Dubai, Real Housewives of Sydney. It's a completely different production company. So I don't think they have the budget compared to the shows in the US. And I also want to mention Martine, because I do respect her for having the balls to stand up for herself in that group of really big, strong personalities. But she is a total snowflake. She's super sensitive. I'm like, stop being so precious, pale Barbie.
Well, I actually keep forgetting she's 42.
Yeah.
Because she looks so young, and she actually does act so young.
Yes.
But anyway, now on to Beverly Hills, where we saw the world's most awkward conversation between Kyle and Mo in the kitchen.
Yes.
With both of them fumbling around with the issue of Mo being papped at a Greek airport kissing a mystery woman, who we now know is a young Russian actress. It was painful, right?
It was. Him stirring that coffee and clanking around with that spoon. Oh, my God. This episode was all about awkward conversations. It started with Boz and Keely and her daughter, Cringe, Dorit and PK, and Mo and Kyle. But the Mo and Kyle was the most cringeworthy. Imagine having to have that conversation on camera.
Well, I actually think maybe that's what Mo wants to do, because he has said in the past that he loves the limelight, and I think maybe Sutton's theory was right, that he did organise those pap photographers to snap him at the Greek airport, because think about it, he was recently on Dancing with the Stars US. He's got all this attention from that. But then his real estate show, Selling Beverly Hills, got cancelled at the end of last year. So I think he is missing the limelight.
Yeah.
He's not going to get as much of it now that he's not married to Kyle. He's not going to be popping up as much on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted to orchestrate this whole thing himself.
I did think it was funny. He said he only partied 5 days, like out of like a whole month. It's like,
Is that
really?
all?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, good for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mo was seen actually kissing another woman on Saturday at the Chateau Marmont, and Erica Jane and Rinna happened to just be there, but they didn't run into each other. But this is the 5th time he's been photographed kissing another woman, so Kyle must be getting used to it by now. And immediately, I figured that his side piece at the Greek airport was the one who had called papped. But and Kyle actually thought the same thing that I did. But all the good stuff seems to be happening off camera, and we can't talk about Morgan, who Kyle is still apparently seeing because they were just at Teddy Mellencamp's bedside.
That's right.
But it's just ridiculous that we can't talk about Morgan.
Yeah, I know. Is she or isn't she Kyle's lover? That's what we want to know, or just a rent-a-friend. On the topic of crazy, speaking about Boz, we've got Boz and boyfriend Keely talking about having a baby together on this episode when neither of them has even said I love you after 8 months, which is just very weird. To now poor old Jamie on maths saying I love you way too fast at just 6 weeks to Dave, which is also just as nuts. Oh, what a clanger.
I'm wearing black today because I'm currently in mourning. I am so upset about Jamie and Dave. It's like Paige and Craig all over again. I just need a moment to process this breakup. And it kept making me think of Jennifer Aniston saying that Brad Pitt was missing a sensitivity chip when they broke up, because Dave was also missing the sensitivity chip when he was talking to Jamie. He's just completely checked out of this relationship.
Yeah, but why on earth was he saying I love you after, was she saying I love you to him after 6 weeks in the first place?
Yeah, it's too soon.
To be honest, my feeling is if you're really feeling that in real life, it's not unheard of to say that to someone that early if you are both feeling it.
Yeah.
But on a reality TV show,
no.
What was she thinking or expecting? It just kind of imploded everything. And then, I mean, in general, I think if you really like or secretly love a guy, I personally don't think a woman should ever say it first anyway, for this very reason.
Yeah.
Unless she's been desperate for some drama and she's just sick of being the nice couple that don't get any time.
Well, I think that something happened between him and Veronica during the couple swap because there was an obvious spark and attraction. And I think that Dave experiencing that spark and attraction to someone made him in his relationship with Jamie because he just didn't have that with her. But during the whole Dave interrogation at the dinner party, there was not one camera cut to Veronica, which I found very strange.
Yeah, you're right.
You would think that she would be key to this whole conversation and interaction, but there was nothing till the very end when Adrian brought it up, and she was very defensive. And obviously she would be, because there would be no way you'd want to be dragged into the Jamie and Dave breakup drama because she would be the other woman. So everyone loved this couple, so she was obviously trying to distance herself.
Yeah, although Jamie's meltdown at the retreat didn't help either. I think he kind of really got put off by that too.
Yeah, that's probably true as well.
Don't get involved. Don't get so involved in other people's dramas and so forth. It can be very off-putting.
Yes.
You know, and she was just really, really aggro. And it is interesting to see, you know, they kept focusing on his worried face throughout all of the I love you conversations. And, you know, it was obvious that the tide was turning for Dave, and now some trash is coming out about him. So for a start, his very stunning Instagram-looking ex-fiancée has come out this week saying they were engaged for 4 years, but he just didn't want to settle down. And then within weeks of them breaking up, he apparently applied to be a contestant on F-Boy Island first, which just sounds so classy, right? I mean, are you familiar with F-Boy Island?
Well, I would just say his ex-fiancée, she is absolutely beautiful, and she comes from a super wealthy family. So, like, Dave, what are you thinking? Yeah. But with F-Boy Island, I have just seen, like, bits of it, and I just know that it's, like, 12 F-boys and 12 nice guys, and all 24 of them are acting like nice guys, and the girls have to figure out who is an actual F-boy and who's a nice guy, and that's how you win the money. But Dave is now saying that he didn't apply for this, so who knows?
So he didn't apply for it. It was all they all just made it up or something,
So,
or a rumor got out of hand.
Yeah, there was a rumor, I think.
Oh, okay, well, just as well, because can you imagine if he'd got on it and then saying to people forevermore, "Yeah, I was on a reality TV show once. It was F Boy Island."
Yeah, like, well, I think
So cringe.
yeah, and I think he is an F boy. He wouldn't have been a nice guy on that show. 'Cause
Oh,
he's
you think so?
He's turned out to be an F boy.
Well, but he didn't get get to. Oh yeah. Well, we'll wait and see what happens next week. There's some good stuff happening next week, and this week we also saw one of the brides get deeply offended by one of the most shocking things ever on a show: a terrible crime committed by a husband. Veronica accused Eliot of reading too many books.
Dun dun dun.
Yes, you're always reading. You read too much. There's not enough talking. To be honest, if you had to listen to Veronica all day long, you'd probably want to bury yourself in a book. Because I think this woman is really weird. Very pretty girl, but boy, she is strange. Like, I get it if she's not into him, but she is so rude to him and about him. Like, you know, I just hate that she is always degrading him, making out every week that he's an axe murderer. You know, we've come around to Eliot. Look, he was forced to run for his life from Lauren. He's all right. Considering she could have been paired with Adrian, he's actually not really that bad.
Yeah, I definitely think Eliot should start a book club. I think that would be perfect for him. And I think Eliot just made some TikToks where they were asking him, some fans were asking him if Veronica was being paid by production to be acting out, because she is an actress in real life, I would say aspiring actress. And he said that he didn't know if she was actually just acting on the show or not, but if that was true, he would be really disappointed if he found out that it was all just a setup.
Yeah, well, I think, this is my theory, I think producers might have given her a special mission to ham the drama up because when the expert said to her on the couch, she was so unempathetic when Eliot told you about his sick sister. Can you see how vulnerable he was being? She still didn't get it. Yeah. And it was at that point that I thought, hang on, is this staged? Because just how stupid and horrible can you be? Like, because we already know that Ryan is an actor as well. So I think he might have also gotten a special mission to that special hammered up memo. But I don't think Jackie's an actor. I do think she's just genuinely kooky.
I would just say Ryan is an aspiring actor because when Jackie was talking to him about his inadequate career in her letter, he said he'd worked in operations, in sales, in management, and Stormwater.
Right.
I don't know what Stormwater means.
Well, I didn't either. I had to look it up, and it is actually, I had to Google. It's the mitigating of the effects of rainwater runoff. Is that impressive? I'm not sure.
He's a stormwater guru.
I'm not sure.
Well, I looked at his IMDb, and he has been an extra in a couple of things, which I don't consider acting. And the same with Veronica. She's had a couple of extra parts in some low-budget films, so she's an aspiring actress as well. But obviously doing maths will raise your profile.
Yeah, so now on to Paul. Who very obviously, well, I think he doesn't end up with Carina. Right. Some people now saying he does end up with her. Like, whatever. I mean, Paul, are you a goose? You totally judged Carina for having a one-night stand with a rapper and got so angry you attacked a door, minding its own business, and now you're saying she's judgmental and a snob because she doesn't like your choice of restaurants sometimes, didn't like his former choice of bedmate in Afina's sister. This pair are so dysfunctional together.
Yeah, and Carina just crying before anything ever happened, just the fact that they had to swap partners, it's like she's so insecure. But I was really offended by her comment about Cleo being of that caliber. Cleo is gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful, and she's fiercely loyal to Afina. And Karina's the one going on about Mean Girls 2.0 with Jamie, but she was horrible saying that comment about someone. Yeah. And Carina has tattoos as well.
I know, I didn't get that either.
Yeah, and she's, talking about Cleo having tattoos. And also with Paul, he's a wellness expert, but I think maybe he should look into acting because he's destroying his brand as a wellness person.
I agree. You're not doing it any favors.
No. So let's move on to another ex-housewife, Denise Richards, who has returned to reality TV with Denise Richards and Her Wild Things. She's had a couple of goes at reality TV, most recently, obviously, in The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Fleur, what did you think of this show?
Look, I liked it. It's an easy watch. It was interesting to see how they lived. It's interesting to see her daughters, Sammy and Lola.
Right.
They're both very different. Sammy is on OnlyFans. She says she's now made $3 million in it for just 2 years of work. Now, I'm not exactly sure of her content on there. Ordinarily, I'll go the distance to get the receipts. But I'm sorry, I wasn't about to subscribe to OnlyFans
I don't blame
just to find out what she's posting. My apologies. But I believe it's mainly bikini and some topless shots. However, there was a scene she did apparently with her boyfriend on OnlyFans, which was a simulated sex scene between them naked. What else she does, how far she goes, I'm not sure. However, since her show with Denise has come out, she's now saying this week that she will quit OnlyFans once she figures out a real career, which she thinks maybe acting or modelling.
Right.
I mean, what did you think of the show?
I think it's really interesting to see Denise being a mom, and her other daughter Lola is a Christian, which is very interesting. And Denise has cameos from friends of hers in the show. Camille Grammer showed up, Erica Jane, Tori Spelling, and she's also close with Charlie Sheen's ex-wife, his third ex-wife, Brooke Mueller, which is also very interesting.
Well, you don't see ex-wives getting together very often, so I did think that was. But, I mean, are they really friends, or is Brooke just wanting to be on camera?
Well, just because, Brooke's gone to rehab a couple of times, and she has twins with Charlie Sheen, and the twins lived with
twin
Denise
boys
for a while. Yeah, so I think Denise is just trying to keep the stepbrothers close to her daughters as well. I mean, it's an easy watch.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Now, now at So Many Receipts, we are huge Southern Charm fans.
Yes.
We have been watching it for 10 years now, this show, both of us. And I can say I have taken some particular delight in watching Peter Pan, aging 45-year-old Playboy Shep Rose, get dumped by his new girlfriend, Sienna,
Karma.
who's 24. Yeah. So it looked like Sienna was the bad girl when it was revealed on the show by Miss Pat to Madison that Sienna first reached out to Whitney on celeb dating app Raya to date him, even though Whitney is even older than Shep at 56. Which is so right? Or, I mean, am I wrong about this?
Well, so I did have a little deep dive into Sienna's past, and she has defended herself on TikTok. She has the receipts, the screenshots, the timelines to prove it. She has gone there. So Whitney was the one who reached out to her, and she had no idea who he was. She also connected with Shep independently, and she didn't realize that Whitney and Shep knew each other. And she'd never watched the show, but yes, it's true, her grandmother was a fan. But if it was Sienna's intention to be on the show, which so many people were saying, she could have been the star this season because there are no plot lines. It was so boring, and there was nothing else going on. And all of her actions showed the exact opposite. She so wasn't into Shep, Whitney, or being on the show.
Yeah, she says that on those TikToks that have just come out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was all kind of a bit of a setup.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, doesn't really surprise me. Because I didn't get the chemistry between them. She's so different to whoever he's dated before. I just did not get – they were such an odd couple.
Yeah.
There was something off about it from the beginning.
Yeah, I thought she was very exotic in the Bahamas, and she was probably very confident, and the girls he dates are probably just fawning all over him normally, like Taylor.
But him saying, I've never felt love like this before, I so don't often fall for people.
Yeah.
When she was so kind of a bit cool towards him all the way through.
Yes.
Maybe it was a case of keep him, what is it, treat him mean, keep him keen.
Yes.
As well.
She's the master of that.
Yeah. So, and I've also heard the most startling news in reality TV all week, that when that final conversation between Shep and Sienna on the beach was filmed,
Right.
Taylor, his ex, also in the show, said she watched it back and said that it was obvious to her that Shep was actually wearing some padded butt underpants that she had previously bought for him. So, in the spirit of receipts, I actually did go back to this episode to be like a detective, and I freeze framed it every time he stood up from the chair to check if he still had a pancake butt or not, but I couldn't really see anything, so I didn't get to the bottom of it.
No, pun intended.
Please laugh at that, okay?
Yes. Well, after you said that, I had to go back and watch it as well. So I couldn't see anything as well because his shirt was kind of long and kind of half covering his butt. But I had to like go and check out his butt as well.
My kids were saying, "Why do you keep like replaying this episode in these frames?" And it's like, "Oh, I was just looking at something." I mean,
research work. I'm working. Mommy's working.
I'm checking out Sheps.
Yes.
But is this a thing for men as well now? I mean, I so blame Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
Honestly, before her, nobody cared at all about butts. Now we even got men wearing butt pants.
Yeah, like the BBL, like the Miami girls, Larsa, Pippen, you know, like.
Yeah.
But for the guys, yeah, I didn't realize it was also a thing for guys. But I also want to mention a couple of other things I uncovered about Sienna. So apparently she wanted to talk to Shep about this relationship before he came down to the Bahamas with 20 people and a production crew. But he insisted that they have a conversation about their relationship on camera. So that was his first mistake. And the second thing, she actually was dating a pro football player who played for the Denver Broncos, and he makes like $35 million a year at the same time that she was kind of doing whatever with Shep. So her sister actually is married, or not married, but has a child with another pro football player. So there's no way she was going to settle for boring Shep.
Yeah, because didn't Whitney in one of the episodes pose the theory that
Yes.
she wasn't that into Shep because Shep's not rich enough.
And famous
or
enough.
famous
Yeah,
enough.
absolutely.
Or young enough to either, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move on now to another toxic male.
Oh, okay.
From
Yep.
Australian Survivor. I would have to say AJ is giving everyone the ick. And basically, he thinks he's running the game by taking hostages and throwing challenges. And I can't remember a Survivor series where tribes actually throw challenges.
I think they do occasionally in the US once. I've seen it maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
It's actually very rare.
It's like the challenges last like 2 minutes because the water pours all over them.
Do you think that one was
Yeah,
so there was a
absolutely.
water pouring challenge last week and one of the tribes just lost it. It was like the quickest challenge in Survivor history. It was maybe 1 minute 20 seconds or something.
Yeah. It was
looked
shocking.
sus.
I'm sure the production people were furious. It's like, how are we going to pad out this episode when the challenge lasts 2 minutes? But I was also shocked about Zara blindsiding Laura with the clue that Laura found. I don't think it was a good strategy for Zara because she already had an alliance with the girls on her tribe, the Girls Gone Wild alliance, and she also could have gotten Miles, Jungle Rat, on board, and they could have had a majority in that tribe. So her like freaking out about how her game was going to be blown up if Laura went to the other tribe, it wasn't true, and she's burned her bridges with Laura and the people on the other Brains tribe by doing this and stabbing Laura in the back. I thought it was really bad strategy.
And I hate a girls' alliance, an all-girl alliance. Women just get irritated with each other after a while. I think when you see the all-men alliances, there's more of a bro code going on sometimes. To be honest, same-sex alliances, I think, never really work. It's a dumb idea anyway. What's binding you? Just the fact that you're all women or men doesn't mean you're going to be a better player.
Yeah, but I just hate all the males thinking that they're running the show and the women just do whatever they say.
Yeah,
So-
they are very painful, those alliances. I actually never understand on this show why people tell other people about idols and clues.
Yep.
Like, it's so dumb. And Laura's a witch.
Yes.
She should have gotten the witchy cosmic vibes that Zara's a snake. And I didn't agree with Karen telling AJ that he should have told her about his idol that he then played. And now she says she can't trust him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't have told you either. You're not my mother.
Yeah.
Like, Karen is a doctor. Can she please be smarter? Actually, very few brains are actually brainy this season.
Yeah, I agree. And I also agree that you shouldn't tell anybody if you have an idol. It's every man or woman for themselves. So
Yeah, as AJ said, it's a hidden immunity idol. I just didn't. I think she was kind of looking for an excuse to kind of part from him anyway because she kept rolling her eyes and saying, no, I can't trust you, I can't trust you. And it's like, and he even said, have you watched Survivor
I know,
before?
exactly.
And she was like, oh, yes. Like, and gave an offended sort of piece to camera after that.
Yeah.
I don't think she wants to be with him. And he is kind of not the greatest person to be aligned with.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I don't fault him. Of all the things, AJ does annoy me, but that was the one thing I was like,
Hang on to your idols
Yeah.
and use them for yourselves. Because
Yeah.
then there is such pressure on, if other people know about it, there's such pressure they then place on you to play it for them.
Yeah.
And put, we can go further in the game if you play it for me. And then you can maybe save them, but then what if you're on the chopping block next week?
It's too much pressure. Yeah. Keep your idol secret, people. And so let's actually move on to another great reality show, the finale of Traitors US. Those finales are always so dramatic, and this time it was really, really good because the faithfuls prevailed for a change, good over evil. And Dylan, Gabby, Ivar, and Dolores took home the gold. And apparently it was the most faithfuls ever to win the prize. And I was so happy that Dylan and Gabby won because they were both very clever. They had strategy. They were entertaining to watch, and they totally deserved it. But I have to say, Dolores, who I have had a problem with all season long she wasted every vote, Sandoval, and she had no strategy. I don't even think she said she really didn't know how to play the game when she went in there, and that was very clear. And Ivar, he just happened to be in the right place at the right time, like him winning as well. So 2 deserved it, 2, not so much.
And Dolores doesn't deserve $50,000 anyway, because that was each of their share, right?
Yes.
200 divided by 4.
Yeah.
She doesn't need the money.
Neither does Ivar. He's like a lord.
He's a lord.
Yeah.
He lives in a castle.
Yeah.
But why on earth did Danielle choose Brittany to be her chosen traitor in the episode before? That didn't make any sense because these two have had history and beef. They were both on a season of US Big Brother, which is more of a strategy game in the States compared to here. And Brittany double-crossed Danielle in that show by playing a role in her getting eliminated. And that ended on a bad note. They made up on traitors, but then Danielle chooses Brittany to be a traitor with her. And Brittany gets her eliminated again. Oh, my God. It just shows you that on this show, time and time again, everybody's intuition is way off. Maybe none of us have intuition. But I am obsessed. Wow, this is such an exciting show. Yes. I can't believe I just watched it for the first time.
Yeah, I know. It's so addictive. And there's a UK version coming out soon, a celebrity version with, like, UK celebrities. But no, this is my favorite competition show. I absolutely love it. So now let's move on to our Rose and Thorn of the week. So my rose this week is Drive to Survive. It in honor of the Australian Grand Prix coming up this weekend. I thought I would choose that. So the reason I love this show is it's really hard for my husband and I to find shows that we both like, and this is one of the very few shows.
This is a very real marital problem between people.
It absolutely is. But this one has everything. It has power struggles. It has money, glamour. Like, F1 is the sexiest sport. And this year there is a sexting scandal with Christian Horner, who is the team principal for Red Bull, who's the best team. And he's married to Jerry Halliwell, Ginger Spice. And I
remember reading about that when it all went down.
Yes, and poor Jerry, like, is on the plane coming over, and all this breaks, and all of his messages were released. His banter with this other woman who works at Red Bull, it was really cringy because he just does not have a good banter game, and people were like, "How did he get Ginger Spice when the guy, like, doesn't really have mojo and anything?" But anyway, so that plays out. It's really good, and there are 2 Australian drivers, Oscar Piastri and Jack Doohan. So if you watch this, you'll be on the edge of your seat. It's just a really good show.
Okay, well, racing car drivers are not exactly my wheelhouse, but a sexting scandal certainly is.
Yes.
So I would take your word for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And my thorn this week goes to Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy.
Oh,
I know.
Really?
It kills me to say this because Bridget Jones is my spirit animal. I
me
absolutely
too.
adore Bridget, and I love Renee Zellweger, 2-time Oscar winner, amazing actress. And I was so excited to go see this latest installment, but it was just disappointing. And I go to see Bridget Jones because I want escapism, I want to have a laugh. And Mark Darcy has died, spoiler alert. And much
Why
like,
do they always kill off the husbands?
I know. So this is just like Big
so
and
they can
Carrie.
date other people, more interesting people.
Yeah, it's like Big and Carrie Bradshaw all over again. So Bridget has to get out there and has to date again. And I just didn't love her new love interests. And there could have been so much comedy gold, Bridget out there dating again. But the whole thing just fell flat to me. And I actually left the theater sobbing. And
are you okay?
I know. I was just like, I don't want to cry when I go see Bridget Jones. And I just feel like it was such a missed opportunity.
Oh, God, sobbing.
Yes.
That sounds so depressing. It sounds as depressing as It Ends With Us, which is a movie I'm going to be talking about in a minute. Well, my rose was the new reality show, The Baldwins, about Alec Baldwin and his wife, Hilaria. She says it with a Spanish accent for some reason. I found it an interesting peek into their private life, but a lot of people were offended by Alec revealing on the first show that he feels their 5-bedroom apartment in New York is way too small for their family. Well, I agree because they
Yes.
got 7 kids.
Yes.
There's 7 kids, 2 adults, 4 cats and 4 dogs living in this
Yes.
place. That's 17 creatures with a heartbeat.
Right.
In a place with no backyard. To me, it did look small. Plus, there's 2 nannies that float in and out
Yes.
too. So that's 19 creatures. I mean, you've spent a lot of time in New York, Shell. Did you think it was small for a New York apartment?
Yes. And I just wondered about the smell and the amount of pet hair, tumbleweeds rolling around. Like, I didn't know what to expect from this show. It's very trippy and interesting. And just imagine this New York apartment. I did think it was small with 7 children under 10 years old and 9,000 animals and the hair. So this is my idea of hell. Plus, on top of this, Alec has OCD. I'm the same way. I need everything to be in order. My pet peeve is crap everywhere, and I need everything, organized, no clutter. I need structure. And his entire life is just chaos in this apartment, and he looks absolutely exhausted.
He does. He really looks every single bit of his 66 years of age. Can you imagine, his youngest child is 18 months old.
Yeah.
He's 66. And it's, what is it, 7 kids under 10?
Yeah.
So he had the first one when he was 56, and she's a lot younger than him.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's doing just as much picking up and stuff around the house as she does. I want to know what happens when they all get diarrhea or gastro. What are the pets? Come down with something as well. And just the thought of them, they all go to the Hamptons. They say for 3 months out of every year, and so you see them packing up 2 cars to take all of the animals as well.
And they need a seating chart.
They need a seating chart in both cars. I would be exhausted just doing the packing up and getting to the Hamptons. I would be too tired to do anything in the Hamptons once I got there.
And a screaming baby in the car for 3 hours in New York traffic. No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, do you think she's going to have any more kids?
I hope not. Well, I didn't realize that some of them are by surrogate as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think,
so she might.
Yeah, you would hope not.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah.
Ilaria, if you're listening, please
stop breeding.
Stop. We don't want you to be pregnant. We were happy for you then, but not now.
Yeah, stop breeding.
Don't do it anymore. So as I mentioned, my thorn is the film that everyone's been talking about for all the wrong reasons. It's now dropped in Australia. It Ends With Us, the Blake and Justin film. I watched it, Shell, so you don't have to.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now I've seen it. It makes Blake's comment of grab your girlfriends and wear your florals to go and watch it so laughable because it's so gloomy.
Domestic violence is not.
You're talking about sobbing with Bridget Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really want to go out and party after this. It's an okay movie, but we would have more fun at Oppenheimer. So the premise, if you don't know it, is a relationship between Blake and Justin's characters starts off fine, but then it gets physically abusive with Justin's character, being abusive to Blake's character a couple of times, and her old boyfriend also comes back into the picture. It's kind of coercive control, all of that.
Right.
So the 3 main characters are named Lily Blossom Bloom, Ryle Kincaid, and Atlas Corrigan. No middle-aged people are called these names.
No, and can I just
Ridiculous.
say, Orlando Bloom's daughter her name is Daisy Dove Bloom. So child abuse.
And they make a joke about that they even throw in a joke about her name in the movie. So was it in the book that it's joked about as well? How silly it is?
Yeah, I did watch the first 15 minutes of it, and he said your parents must have hated you, Lily Blossom Bloom, and she owns a flower shop. It's really.
So the first question is, are Blake and Justin any good in this movie? I say yes, the performances are strong. The second question, and this is probably the main question, is there any sexual chemistry between them? I say a big fat yes to that.
Yes.
And then really aren't any sex scenes, but there are a lot of kissing scenes, I would say about 10. And Justin wanted even more kissing scenes than that in the movie. So I felt it's really become apparent that Ryan went to the set to watch the dailies of those scenes and others. He just got completely paranoid and jealous of the natural chemistry, decided to start planting seeds in Blake's mind that Justin was harassing her in some way and was probably saying, by the way, you need more control of this movie. Your ideas are great and so are mine. So after this break, because they had a writer's break for about 4 weeks where filming ceased, that's when they came back with that big file full of demands for him. Don't harass me and give me more control of the movie.
Yeah, I have to say, I only watched the first half an hour of this movie, but I was very surprised that Justin is very sexy. He's not conventionally attractive, you know, as we talked about.
He's got charisma. There's something happening. I can see why she was attracted to him.
Yeah, there was definitely chemistry. And we're also hearing now, according to a source, that Hugh Jackman, Ryan's Deadpool star, is going to be deposed.
Maybe he should be.
not Hugh Jackman. No, but so he's going to be called to the trial as well, as Baldoni's legal team want to get the full scope of Ryan's conduct during the time.
Too many Riles and Ryans.
Yeah. So Hugh's going to be called up as well. And it's just so embarrassing for all these Hollywood people and everyone who knows them in their life, from Taylor Swift to Anna Kendrick to now Hugh, to have to, you know, be pulled into this whole mess. It's just insane. Yep. And I can't believe Blake would choose to blow up her whole life and her family, her friends, her career, and potentially her marriage for this lawsuit. It's not going to end well if it ever actually ends.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to ever... Well, it's not officially ending until like May or something next year. That's when the trial is.
It's just going to get more messy.
It will do. Yep. So that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. I'm Fleur Michelle.
And I'm Shelley Seddon.
Join us next week for So Many Receipts.